In a design, it may be desired to pick a code in your cross-section that's not the batter and project that code to a surface. So if we have a think about this table drain, maybe what we want to do is to intersect that table drain code with a terrain. Or might want that table drain to have fixed elevation over a distance, or that it projects to, or to an elevation difference. You now have a variation that can simulate what the batter naturally does, which targets the surface, but actually be projecting a code to a surface or an elevation difference. So if we have a look in custom variations, we now have access to a new one for projecting a code. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from 0 to, let's say, 180, and I'm going to take this code, which is the invert of the table drain here. I'm going to say I'd like it to attach to a surface. I pick the natural surface. You'll see here that there's some guardrails of a minimum and maximum width. That doesn't stop a projection from happening, but it does limit the projection to a width between the inside point and the next and that current point. So once I go add update, what we'll see is that we're now tapping onto the surface here. If we have a look around Chainage 180 where there's a bigger lift, we'll see that that table drain is quite a bit more extensive. And you can see in the plan here that the table drain is widening out to accommodate for those width changes. You can set code to project to a surface. Now you may want to protect the minimum width. So if we have a look in this case, the width is 1.7. Let's say the minimum width we need is 2 meters. So if I set that to 2 and I say update, then the software will shoot past there. And maybe we've got a maximum width for whatever reason. So let's say the maximum width is, let's say, 3.5 meters. Go add update. What we'll notice in this cross section is that we get exactly 3.5 meters and it finishes. So these sort of guardrails that to limit the maximum minimum extents. You don't need to be projecting to a surface. The projection targets will allow you to have fixed elevations. So maybe we want to go to, let's say, 458 at Chainage 0. So let's say 458 here. And maybe we want to shoot to 453 by the time we get to Chainage 180. So if we click on Add Update, then what we'll see is that we're now targeting to elevations, and that is transitioning. So as we sort of roll through, you'll see those elevations will lift up in a linear manner to transition between. If you make a change to your design, you will notice that it won't automatically update. What you do need to do is just hit recalculate, and then it will reapply those controls to the script. Okay, as well as set elevations, you do have access to elevation differences. So this is when you're saying you'd like an elevation difference. Okay, so maybe what I want is a drop here of, let's say, minus 1.2 meters, and then I'd like an elevation drop from this code to this code, let's say minus 0.8. So now when we go update, you'll see that we've got a 1.2 meter drop here, and you'll see that we have a 0.8 meter drop here, and that will be a linear transition of elevation change in between.